You've been optimizing for the absence of discomfort instead of the presence of meaning. Our world is obsessed with making life frictionless. One-click orders, instant entertainment, answers on demand. Here at New Acropolis, a school of philosophy run by volunteers all across the United States, we ask a central question. What if this relentless pursuit of convenience is a trap? What if the very thing designed to make your life easier is secretly making you weaker? Stealing the one thing you need to handle life's real challenges, your strength? This isn't just a philosophical question. Progress has a paradox. The very things that make our lives easier can in some ways make us weaker. We live in an era where, for many, nearly every discomfort has a technological solution. Feeling bored? Here's an infinite scroll. Hungry? A meal is 20 minutes away, no cooking required. Lost? Your phone knows the way. We've become masters of avoidance, architects of an effortless existence, but in building this world, we've forgotten a fundamental law of nature that we study constantly, a law that governs everything from muscles to minds. Strength comes from resistance. Without friction, there is no traction. Without challenge, there is no growth. As a result, a strange anxiety seems to permeate our seemingly comfortable world. It's not the fear of failure, but the fear of weightlessness. A sense that our lives are sliding by without leaving a mark, because there's nothing for them to catch on to. This isn't just a feeling, it's a warning sign. Here, we believe our psychological resilience is being tested as we stop practicing the art of enduring. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this comfortable prison. We will explore 7 hidden ways the frictionless world is draining your resilience and stealing your strength. And more importantly, we'll discuss what you can do, starting today, to fight back, to intentionally reintroduce positive friction, and to reclaim the fortitude that is your birthright.
The automation of thought and cognitive atrophy.
The first, and perhaps most insidious way the frictionless world can steal our strength is through the automation of thought. Every day, we outsource more of our cognitive work to machines. Your phone finishes your sentences. Your email assistant suggests replies. Your streaming service decides what you should watch. Your navigation app decides which street to take, and your newsfeed curates what you need to know. Each of these is a small convenience, a tiny offloading of mental effort. But taken together, they represent a massive shift in our cognitive responsibilities. We are, piece by piece, subcontracting our thinking. A growing body of research is revealing a troubling picture. For example, a recent MIT study found that heavy reliance on AI tools can diminish our ability to spot misinformation. One researcher described it perfectly, noting that users get excited about these magical LLMs, but forget that they're just statistical models. It comes with real limitations, and its broader impact on the people using it. The irony of automation, as experts have noted for decades, is that by mechanizing routine tasks, you can deprive the human user of the very opportunities needed to practice their judgment. When a real crisis comes, are our cognitive muscles atrophied and unprepared? As we explore here, in our School of Philosophy, the mind is not a hard drive to be filled. It is a tool that must be constantly sharpened through use. It's a blade that dulls without a whetstone. The friction of wrestling with a difficult problem, of composing a thought from scratch, of navigating without a digital guide, this is the sharpening process. When we let AI and algorithms do the heavy lifting, we don't just get an answer. We risk losing the ability to find the answer ourselves. We trade the struggle of the journey for the hollow efficiency of arrival. We see this everywhere. Students using AI to write essays may get the assignment done, but they bypass the crucial cognitive struggle where real learning happens. Professionals who rely on AI to summarize reports may save time, but they miss the nuances and develop a shallower grasp of their own field. We are prioritizing rapid, abridged answers over deep, foundational understanding. This isn't just about losing skills, like mental math or memorizing directions. It's about a potential loss of cognitive autonomy. We risk becoming dependent on systems we don't control, conditioning ourselves to be passive recipients of information rather than active, critical thinkers. Some research even suggests that offloading our thinking can lead to changes in how our brains engage with tasks. A preliminary MIT study, for instance, used EEG to record brain activity and found that ChatGPT users showed lower brain engagement on a writing task compared to those using only their own minds. So, what does this mean for you? It means you have to consciously choose to reclaim your cognitive territory. This is not about abandoning technology, but about using it with intention. The reclaiming action here is to implement what we call a No AI hour. For one dedicated hour each day, you will engage in a core mental task without any digital assistance, especially not AI. This could be writing a report, brainstorming a new project, planning your week, or solving a complex problem related to your work or life. Turn off the predictive text. Close the AI assistant. Put away the search engine that offers instant answers. The goal is to force your brain to do the work, to connect ideas, structure arguments, and wrestle with ambiguity on its own terms. During this hour, you will feel the friction. You will stare at a blank page. You will feel the urge to look something up. You will struggle to find the right word. This is not a sign of failure. This is the feeling of your cognitive muscles working. It's the feeling of strength being built. As a complementary practice, engage in manual calculation or logic puzzles. Balance your checkbook by hand. Work through a Sudoku or a crossword puzzle. The specific activity is less important than the principle. You are intentionally choosing a path with more friction to keep your mind sharp. You are reminding your brain that it is a powerful, independent tool, not just a terminal for external intelligence. By doing this, you are not just preserving a skill, you are defending your ability to think for yourself.
The illusion of instant gratification and the erosion of will.
The second way the frictionless world is making us weaker is by trapping us in the illusion of instant gratification. Our modern economy, for many, is built on speed. Same-day delivery, on-demand streaming, instant access to food, validation, and information. The friction of waiting, of planning, of delayed reward has been systematically engineered out of our existence. If you want something, you can have it now. The gap between desire and fulfillment has collapsed into a single click. But this convenience comes at a staggering, invisible cost. The potential erosion of our willpower. Patience, discipline, and the ability to endure are not innate virtues. They are muscles. They grow stronger only when exercised against the resistance of delay. When you remove that resistance, those muscles can atrophy. We can become psychologically incapable of handling the slightest bit of discomfort. A slow internet connection, a line at the grocery store, a text message that goes unanswered for an hour. These minor inconveniences can trigger a disproportionate sense of frustration and anxiety. When 99% of your desires are met instantly, that remaining 1% of discomfort can feel like a threat. The science behind this is clear and unforgiving. Our brains are wired with a dopamine-based reward system. For a long time, dopamine was called the pleasure molecule. But that's a bit of a misnomer. Neuroscientists now understand it more as the motivation molecule. It's released in anticipation of a reward, driving us to expend effort to get it. Dopamine's job is to get you seeking. The frictionless world hijacks this system. By removing the effort and the weight, we get a quick, cheap hit of dopamine, but we rob ourselves of the deeper satisfaction that comes from the journey. The reward can feel hollow because our brain didn't have to work for it. This can lead to a dangerous cycle known as hedonic adaptation. The thrill of the new purchase, the new show, the new meal fades almost instantly. We might need a bigger, faster, more intense stimulus next time just to feel the same baseline of satisfaction. We risk falling into what you might call a dopamine coma, a metaphorical state of overstimulation where we lose our capacity to experience genuine joy. Let's be real. This isn't just about Amazon Prime or food delivery. It's about the deep rewiring of our expectations. We expect our careers to progress without setbacks. We expect our relationships to be easy and without conflict. We have lost the stomach for the slow, arduous, and often frustrating process of building something meaningful. True wisdom, a central theme in our studies, comes from the patience to wait and the discipline to endure. Instant gratification is a trap that can weaken our will, making us slaves to our own impulses. So what does this mean for you, living in a world that constantly tempts you with the easy button? It means you must become a conscious practitioner of patience. The reclaiming action is to adopt the 24-hour rule. For any non-essential purchase or decision, that new gadget, those clothes, that online course, you must wait a full 24 hours before acting. Don't put it in your cart. Write it down on a piece of paper and put it away. This simple act of manufactured delay does two powerful things. First, it breaks the hypnotic spell of impulse. You will be astonished at how many must-have items feel utterly unnecessary after a day of reflection. Second, and more importantly, it is a workout for your willpower muscle. Each time you enforce this rule, you are telling your brain that you are in control, not your fleeting desires. You are practicing the art of saying not now. To deepen this practice, embrace slow media. Choose to read a physical book instead of scrolling through headlines. Watch a full-length film without pausing or multitasking. Listen to an entire album from start to finish. In a world designed for fragmentation and speed, giving your undivided attention to a single, slow thing is a revolutionary act of defiance. It teaches your brain to value depth over breadth and to find satisfaction not in the quick hit of novelty, but in the immersive experience of sustained engagement. By reintroducing the friction of waiting, you are not denying yourself pleasure. You are relearning how to truly value it.
The erosion of physical resilience and the sedentary trap.
The third way the frictionless world steals our strength is by dismantling our physical resilience. For the vast majority of human history, movement wasn't a choice. It was a precondition for survival. Our bodies were our primary tools, honed by the constant friction of walking, lifting, carrying, and climbing. Today, we have outsourced much of that effort to machines. We summon a car instead of walking a mile. We take the elevator instead of the stairs. Groceries are delivered to our door instead of carried from the store. Even in our own homes, smart devices obey our verbal commands, removing the need to get up and flip a switch. Each of these innovations is sold as a time saver, a convenience. But the cumulative effect can be a profound physical stagnation that has serious consequences for our health. The average adult in many developed nations now spends most of their day sitting. Sedentary lifestyles are strongly associated with a host of negative health outcomes, including higher stress levels, lower energy, and an eroded ability to handle physical demands. We have become like zoo animals in some respects, living in perfectly safe enclosures, but slowly losing the strength and vitality we were designed for. The loss goes deeper than just cardiovascular health or muscle mass. We are losing what exercise scientists call eccentric strength, the ability to control our bodies against gravity, like when lowering ourselves into a chair or walking down a steep hill. It's the strength of braking, of control, of resilience. A sedentary life can dissolve this capacity, making us more prone to falls, injury, and a general state of fragility. Furthermore, a concept we explore deeply is that the body is the vessel of the spirit. A weak body can struggle to sustain a strong will. There is an undeniable connection between physical effort and mental fortitude. When you push your body through the friction of a difficult workout, you are simultaneously training your mind to tolerate discomfort, to persevere when it wants to quit. The struggle you feel lifting a heavy weight is the same mental currency you spend when dealing with a tough project at work or a personal crisis. The root of our ability to withstand mental and emotional struggles is often forged in physical effort. By engineering physical friction out of our lives, we aren't just making ourselves physically weaker. We are robbing ourselves of a primary training ground for mental and emotional resilience. We've become so comfortable that we've forgotten how to be uncomfortable, and our bodies and minds are paying the price. So what does this mean for you? caught in the comfortable currents of modern life? It means you must intentionally seek out physical resistance. You must choose to move when the world tells you to sit still. The reclaiming action is twofold: mastering the NEAT boost and embracing weekly manual labor. NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis, is the energy you burn doing everything other than sleeping, eating, or formal exercise. It's the friction of daily life. Your mission is to systematically reintroduce it. Park at the farthest spot in the parking lot. Take the stairs, always. Carry your groceries instead of using a cart for a small load. Stand up and pace when you take a phone call. Get off the bus or subway one stop early and walk the rest of the way. These are small, consistent choices to choose the path of more resistance. Each one is a deposit in your bank of physical resilience. Second, once a week, schedule a block of time for manual labor. This isn't punishment. It's purpose. It's about using your body as the tool it was meant to be. This could be an hour of vigorous gardening, a deep clean of your house, washing your car by hand, or a dedicated gym session focused on functional compound lifts, like squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses. You are not just burning calories, you are fighting back against the atrophy of convenience. You are reminding your body of its strength, and in so doing, fortifying your mind. You are proving to yourself in the most tangible way possible that you are capable of doing hard things.
The loss of deep focus and the age of fragmentation.
The fourth way the frictionless world weakens us is by shattering our ability to maintain deep focus. Our digital environment is engineered for interruption. It is a seamless, frictionless experience designed not for our well-being, but for our engagement. Every notification, every alert, every like, every endlessly scrolling feed is a tiny, frictionless pull on our attention. The result can be a state of perpetual cognitive fragmentation. We task switch constantly, our brains flitting from email to social media to news alerts and back again, never settling on one thing for a meaningful length of time. This constant switching comes at a high cognitive cost. It depletes our mental energy, degrades our performance, and can elevate our stress levels. But the most significant casualty is deep focus, the ability to concentrate on a single, demanding task for a prolonged period without distraction. Deep focus is not a luxury. It is the engine of creativity, insight, and meaningful work. As author Cal Newport argues, this skill is becoming increasingly rare at the exact same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. Deep focus, from the philosophical perspective we take here, is the gateway to wisdom. It is only in a state of sustained, undistracted contemplation that we can grapple with profound ideas and connect with the deeper parts of ourselves. When our attention is perpetually scattered, our thoughts risk remaining shallow. We become mere information processors, skimming the surface of life without ever diving into its depths. The frictionless design of the digital world, which removes any barrier to distraction, is a key contributor to this hollowing out of our intellectual lives. We are trading profundity for novelty and meaning for stimulation. Let's be clear, this is not a personal failing. It's not that you lack willpower. The ecosystem you live in is designed to break your focus. The path of least resistance, the frictionless path, leads directly to a state of chronic distraction. The hard truth is that in the 21st century, the ability to focus is a competitive advantage, and it's a skill that must be deliberately cultivated. So, how do you reclaim your focus in a world designed to steal it? You must build digital walls. You must intentionally create friction between you and the sources of distraction. The reclaiming action is to strategically deploy focus modes and practice rigorous, single tasking. For at least 90 minutes every single day, activate the Do Not Disturb or Focus mode on all of your devices. This is non-negotiable. This 90-minute block is your sacred time for deep work. It is not for catching up on emails or browsing the web. It is for your most cognitively demanding task. During this time, you close all unnecessary tabs. You turn off your phone or put it in another room. You create an environment of absolute, non-negotiable focus. The first few times you do this, it will feel intensely uncomfortable. You will feel a phantom itch to check your phone, a nagging sense of, what if I'm missing something? This is the friction. Lean into it. It is the feeling of your brain detoxing from distraction. The second part of this practice is single tasking. For the rest of your day, outside of your deep work block, make a conscious effort to do one thing at a time. If you are writing an email, just write the email. Don't have 5 other tabs open. If you're in a conversation with someone, give them your full, undivided attention. This is harder than it sounds. Our brains have been trained to crave the stimulus of multitasking. Retraining it requires constant, gentle correction. When you notice your mind wandering, simply bring it back to the task at hand. By creating these small walls of friction, you are not just getting more done. You are retraining your attention span. You are teaching your brain, one focused session at a time, that it has the capacity for depth. You are taking back control of your most valuable asset, your attention.
The decline of personal discipline and the tyranny of convenience.
The fifth, and perhaps most foundational way the frictionless world steals our strength is by eroding our personal discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's the bridge between goals and accomplishment. In the philosophical traditions we study, it's considered the very foundation of freedom. Without it, we are slaves to our moods, our impulses, and the path of least resistance. And the modern world is a master at creating that path. When everything is convenient, when every discomfort can be instantly soothed, the raw material for building discipline seems to vanish. Why wake up early to work out when you can sleep in? Why cook a healthy meal when a less healthy one can be at your door in minutes? Why push through the difficult middle of a project when 1,000 easier distractions are a click away? Convenience whispers a seductive lie. You don't have to. This is a profound departure from the human condition for much of history. For millennia, life itself was a form of discipline training. The friction was built in. If you didn't tend the crops, you didn't eat. The consequences of a lack of discipline were often immediate and severe. This environment forged human beings with a default setting of resilience and fortitude. Today, many of us live in a world of safety nets and endless options. The consequences of our small failures of discipline are delayed and diffuse. One missed workout doesn't matter. One night of junk food is fine. But the cumulative effect of these thousands of convenient choices can be the slow, silent erosion of our self-trust. Every time you choose the easy path over the right path, you cast a small vote against your own capability. You teach your brain that your commitments are optional. Over time, your brain can develop, as one writer put it, trust issues with you. It no longer believes you when you say you're going to do something hard. This potential loss of discipline is not about being lazy. It is a predictable response to an environment that rarely demands our strength. When a muscle is never asked to lift a heavy weight, it remains weak. When a will is never asked to overcome resistance, it remains soft. We risk becoming passive consumers of our own lives, waiting for motivation to strike, instead of cultivating the discipline to act without it. So, what does this mean for you in your daily life? It means you cannot wait for the world to challenge you. You must become your own drill sergeant. You must voluntarily choose the path of discipline. The reclaiming action is to live by the hard thing rule and to practice manual, deliberate goal setting. First, the hard thing rule. Every single day, preferably first thing in the morning, you must do one thing that you do not want to do. This hard thing should be something that is good for you, but requires an override of your desire for comfort. It could be a cold shower. It could be waking up 30 minutes earlier. It could be doing that one task on your to-do list that you've been dreading. The specific act is less important than the metabolic cost to your willpower. By starting your day with a voluntary act of discipline, you set a powerful precedent. You are telling your subconscious mind, I am in charge. My actions are not governed by my feelings, but by my commitments. Second, you must reclaim the process of goal setting. In a frictionless world, it's easy to just float. To counteract this, you must become ruthlessly intentional. Get a physical notebook. Define a small number of specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, or SMART goals. Break them down into concrete, weekly actions. And, this is the crucial part, track your progress manually. Every day, or every week, take out your notebook and check off what you have done. This physical act of tracking creates a feedback loop of accountability. It makes your progress tangible, and your failures undeniable. This isn't about creating more work for yourself. It's about creating a structure of positive friction that forces you to be conscious of your choices. It's about fighting the passivity of convenience and reclaiming your agency, one disciplined act at a time.
The fragmentation of community and the illusion of connection.
The sixth way our frictionless world makes us weaker is by quietly dismantling our sense of true community. Humans are fundamentally social creatures. For our entire evolutionary history, our survival and well-being have been linked to the strength of our tribe. But building and maintaining a tribe is hard work. It requires friction. It demands vulnerability, compromise, patience, and showing up when you're tired. Modern technology offers a seemingly frictionless alternative: the virtual community. Social media and messaging apps give us the illusion of connection without the demanding friction of real-world relationships. We can collect friends, receive instant validation in the form of likes, and engage from the safe distance of a screen. But it can be a pale imitation of the real thing. The US Surgeon General has warned we are facing an epidemic of loneliness and isolation, and this is happening in the most connected era in human history. This paradox points to a difficult truth. The convenience of virtual connection may allow some to avoid the hard, essential work of building real community, and we are starving for the nourishment that only real community can provide. While online spaces can offer vital support, especially for marginalized groups, an over-reliance on them can come at the expense of deep, resilient bonds forged through shared presence. As we believe at our School of Philosophy, true community is built through shared effort and presence. It is in the difficult, messy work of showing up for one another that the deep bonds of trust and belonging are forged. The frictionless nature of much online interactions removes the need for this effort. We can dip in and out of people's lives with a click, curating a social life that is optimized for our own comfort, but which can ultimately leave us feeling isolated. The erosion of physical, high-friction community spaces can exacerbate this problem. For many, there's a trend away from gathering on front porches or at town squares. We drive from our enclosed garage to our enclosed office. We order in instead of going to a local restaurant. Each choice, driven by convenience, can pull another thread from the social fabric, leaving us more alone. This isolation doesn't just impact our mental health, it weakens us. A strong community is a source of immense resilience. Without it, we are left to face our struggles alone. So, what does this mean for you, navigating a world that pushes you toward digital isolation? It means you must become an active and intentional community builder. You must choose the high-friction path of real human connection. The reclaiming action is to schedule a weekly Real Talk hour and to engage in tangible community service. First, the Real Talk hour. Once a week, dedicate 1 hour to a face-to-face, device-free conversation with a friend, family member, or partner. This is a deliberate space for deeper conversation. No phones on the table, no television in the background. Just two people, present and engaged. It might feel awkward at first. There will be pauses. You will have to work to move beyond superficial updates. This is the friction of real communication. Lean into it. Ask better questions. Practice active listening. Share something vulnerable. This is how you move a relationship from a superficial connection to a genuine bond. Second, Find a form of local, hands-on community service or volunteer work. Join a neighborhood cleanup. Volunteer at a local food bank. Coach a kids' sports team. This is about enmeshing yourself in the fabric of your community in a tangible way. It is about working alongside other people toward a shared goal. In the process of this shared work, something magical happens. Strangers become acquaintances. Acquaintances become friends. You build a network of real, place-based relationships, grounded in shared action, not just shared interests. These actions require effort. They are less convenient than sending a text message or joining a Facebook group. But they are the very actions that weave the strong social fabric we so desperately need.
The loss of spiritual depth and the cult of materialism.
The seventh and final way the frictionless world can steal our strength is by eroding our spiritual depth. Let's define our terms. When I say spiritual, I'm not necessarily talking about organized religion. I'm referring to the human need for meaning, purpose, and a connection to something larger than oneself. It is the part of us that asks the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What is a life well lived? This search for meaning is, by its very nature, a high-friction activity. It demands introspection, solitude, and contemplation. It is a struggle. The frictionless world, however, is often built on a foundation of materialism and superficiality. It relentlessly encourages us to seek fulfillment in external things, in the next purchase, the next promotion, the next dopamine hit of online validation. It offers a constant stream of easy pleasures and comfortable distractions, all of which can serve to keep us on the surface of life, too busy and stimulated to engage in the difficult inner work of spiritual development. The promise of the frictionless world is that if you can just make your life comfortable enough, you will be happy. But many philosophical and spiritual traditions suggest this is a profound lie. A life devoid of struggle is often a life devoid of meaning. As the Stoic philosophers we study taught, it is through facing adversity with courage and virtue that we forge our character and discover our inner strength. It is in the struggle for something meaningful, a craft, a cause, a relationship, that we find a durable sense of purpose that cannot be bought or downloaded. The modern world's obsession with convenience and comfort can actively discourage this kind of deep, internal work. Why spend 15 minutes in silent reflection when you can spend it scrolling through an endless feed? Why read a challenging philosophical text when you can watch a 30-second video that gives you the illusion of knowledge without the effort? The path of least resistance often leads away from introspection and toward distraction. This can create a kind of spiritual atrophy. We lose touch with our own inner landscape, with our values, with our sense of purpose. We can end up with lives that are full of activity, but empty of meaning, leaving us feeling anxious and adrift. So how do you cultivate spiritual depth in a world that wants you to remain on the surface? You must intentionally carve out space for stillness and contemplation. You must choose the friction of silence over the ease of noise. The reclaiming action is to establish a daily silence practice and a weekly commitment to philosophical reading. First, the silence practice. Every day for just 15 minutes, you will sit in silence. No phone, no music, no podcasts, no books. Just you and your own thoughts. The goal is not to achieve anything. The goal is to simply be present. In the beginning, this will be incredibly difficult. Your mind will race. You will feel bored and restless. This is the friction. This is the inner noise that the constant external stimulation usually drowns out. Your job is to simply sit with it. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Over time, something may begin to shift. The noise can start to quiet down. In the space that opens up, you may begin to hear your own inner voice. Second, once a week, commit to reading a chapter from a classic philosophical or spiritual text. This is about engaging with the great minds of history who have wrestled with the same questions of meaning and purpose that we face today. Read the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca. Read Plato, Read the Bhagavad Gita or the teachings of the Buddha. Choose a text that resonates with you and read it slowly. Grapple with the ideas. Write down your thoughts in a journal. The friction here is intellectual. These texts demand more from you than a typical blog post. They require you to think, but in return, they offer a depth of wisdom that can provide a powerful anchor in the turbulent waters of modern life. By embracing silence and deep reading, you are pushing back against the superficiality of the frictionless world. You are making a conscious choice to prioritize meaning over materialism and contemplation over distraction. You are undertaking the essential, high-friction work of building a resilient inner world. We have journeyed through the 7 hidden ways the frictionless world may be weakening us: the automation of thought, the illusion of instant gratification, the erosion of physical resilience, the loss of deep focus, the decline of personal discipline, the fragmentation of community, and the loss of spiritual depth. The picture is clear. The world we have built, in its relentless pursuit of ease, risks dismantling the very things that make us strong. It promises a life without friction, but can deliver a life without traction, a life where we slide along the surface, never gaining the footing needed to build something real, meaningful, and lasting. But let's be equally clear, this is not a call to abandon technology. That is neither possible nor desirable. The solution is not to reject the modern world, but to engage with it, consciously. The overarching mindset shift is this: we must stop optimizing our lives for comfort and start optimizing them for strength. We must become architects of positive friction. This means seeing every challenge not as an inconvenience to be eliminated, but as an opportunity to be embraced. The stairs are not an obstacle, they are a micro-workout for your body and will. The blank page is not a void, it is a gymnasium for your mind. A difficult conversation is not a threat, it is the raw material for a deeper relationship. The distance between who you are today and who you are capable of becoming is measured in the number of times you voluntarily choose the path of greater resistance. It is measured in the small, daily choices to do the hard thing. The strength you are looking for is not out there. It is forged inside you, in the heat of these small, deliberate struggles. It is in the decision to take the stairs, to wait 24 hours before buying, to sit in silence, to do the 10th rep when 9 would have been easier. These are the moments that define you. So, here is my challenge to you. Don't try to tackle all 7 of these at once. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, choose one. Just one. Which of these 7 areas feels most resonant for you right now? Is it your focus, your physical strength, your connections with others? Pick the one that hits you in the gut. Now, commit to implementing its reclaiming action for the next 7 days. Just 1 week. If you chose focus, commit to 90 minutes of deep work every day. If you chose discipline, do one hard thing every morning. I want you to make a commitment, not just to me, but to yourself. In the comments below, write down which of the 7 ways you're choosing to fight back against. Declare your intention. By writing it down, you make it real. And a week from now, come back and share your experience. What was hard? What did you learn? How did it feel to intentionally choose friction? This is not just another video. This is a call to arms. It is an invitation to join a quiet rebellion against the tyranny of ease. A rebellion fought not with anger, but with intention. Subscribe for more explorations into building a life of meaning and strength. But more importantly, take what you've learned today and put it into action. The world will keep selling you convenience. Choose strength instead.